Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate all of you for this huge milestone. Welcome to the live stream Q&A, 100,000 subscribers. It has been almost a year in the making to get to this point from 1,000 subscribers. It's actually kind of fast, and I just can't believe how much interest you guys have. I mean, I know the submarine's really cool, but it just grew so quickly, and I couldn't thank you guys anymore for this right here. And Nicole helped a lot in the last video that we posted. She actually helped us with that video break that 100,000 subscriber milestone. So before we get into it, I'm going to let people get tuned in. I'm going to let people put in some comments, and then we're going to answer some questions. I'm going to go through some questions. I'm going to talk about the future of the channel, listen to the things that you guys would like to see. It's going to be a great live stream, so let's check this out right now. Make sure everything is working. Just let me know if you guys can hear me. The microphone's all right. People are hitting the heart button. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. I actually never thought, I really never thought I would get a play button award. It was super surreal opening this up, and I'm gonna have a video on this opening it, a separate video from this, and also after this live stream, immediately after it ends, you're gonna see another video go up on how to dive the submarine. It's like a 16 minute long video. It's in depth. It gives you a lot of information inside the sub while underwater. It's very informative for people that want to know how the submarine works and stuff like that. So stick around to the end, and once this stream ends, that video will be going live. But again, thank you guys. I can't keep saying that enough. Okay, so we'll get to some questions. I don't know how many of you are currently subscribers or not, but if not, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. We love it. And yeah, so first question, I'm going to go through a couple questions. First one that we got was from Falder Abbas, Falderabbes. The interior looks like the submarine was built in the 60s. Have you rebuilt it and modified it in the last 4 years? What is the power plant? Just pre-charged batteries, or is there a ice or something else? Very cool either way. Very, very cool. So I designed the submarine to look like a kind of like a U-boat, like a World War II battleship. That's exactly the look I was going for. So that's why it looks old. It's completely intentional. And yeah, well, let me check the live stream real quick. Let's make sure that this is going through. Can you guys hear me all right? This paused for whatever reason. Okay, I think we're doing okay. Mind the technical difficulties if there are any, guys. But anyway, yes, I designed it to look like an old submarine. It just super fascinating to look at the old submarines with the ports on them, and just that's aesthetic. I didn't want to go with something simple like a yellow submarine. I just don't think there's anything cool about that. But anyway,
song.
that's right. So yeah, just introducing Nicole, my girlfriend here. You saw her in the dive video. We'll ask her what her thoughts were on going underwater. How'd you feel on that?
A little scared going into it because I was getting mixed reviews from others.
Yeah, so like Chris dove in the video before, and when he first got in, he was a little nervous. And he got her a little worried when she was getting ready to go in. But once you got in, though...
So, once I got in, it was like nothing. I was kind of worried about it being a little small and claustrophobic. It wasn't that at all.
Right.
Getting into it was really easy, you know, minus trying to finagle my way to the back a little bit. But, yeah, it wasn't really rocking about or anything that made me uncomfortable. And being in it went very fast. Actually, it felt like it went fairly smooth, and I enjoyed myself. It was quite the experience that I will never forget.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the reason I had her go through the front hatch instead of opening the hatch yourself is I just wanted to ensure that that was well sealed. So that's why I had you crawl through there. So
I
that
appreciated
that ended up being a good move anyway. It made it easy. Took the stress off you. You were able to enjoy the dive and have a good time. And I'm glad you loved it.
I did love it.
You'll probably see her dive again.
Probably.
So on to some more questions. And I'll look at the chat if anyone is going to put anything in here. Can you test the submarine in the ocean? Kwai Fung. If I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, I apologize. So the submarine is designed as a lake only, freshwater only. So I'm not going to be putting it in the ocean, but we'll probably bring it to other lakes, bluer water. We'll look for some nice spots to bring this to. We'll probably go around. Sweet dude, 100K. Ray, thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. Let's get back to some more questions that people have left in the comments, and take this opportunity, everybody, to ask questions, and tell us where you would like to see the channel go. 100,000 subscribers is a big milestone, and I feel like the bar was just set way up here now. Like the videos we make going forward, they have to be so much better. I mean, I got to live up to 100,000 subscribers. I don't want to be making crappy videos. So I do love your ideas, and I do love your input. Brendan2533 asked, what if a boat hits the top of the sub? A lot of people actually ask this question, and that's why we have those barrels floating in the water, tethered to the sub. There's one in the front, and there's one in the back, and that's to let boats know that we're underwater there. And we also have a surface support boat that's usually within 100 feet of the sub. That can yell out to boats and alert us and stuff like that. And of course, if there was an emergency or something like that, we have the surface support there. And every single dive, we do that. So a lot of people do ask, what's the rescue plan? When we're diving, a boat's always on the surface. They know we're underwater. They know how long we're staying underwater, and they know where we're going and what our mission is, basically, for the day. So that's how we do that. So thanks, Brendan2533, for the question. The next one is at This Is For My Love 4386. What is the significance of the red lights? I mean, why can't you use normal lights? Will they be ineffective once you get to a certain depth? So the real reason I added the red lights was because it looks cool, but in submarines, historically, and in battleships and control rooms, they have red lights. It's to help preserve your night vision. Nowadays, the military is going away from the red lights, but it just looks cool and it's nostalgic. So that's why I went with the red lights. And yes, the red lights do offer a night vision benefit. So when you are going deeper and it's getting darker, it is easier to see out the viewport. So that is the purpose of the red lights. Good question. Thanks for asking. All right. What do we got next? Great job. What happens if you get in trouble when submerged? Can you open the thing to get out? That was asked by Critchie, Critchee. So if there's a emergency underwater, which is very unlikely, and I like to stress to everybody the redundancy that the submarine has. So all the ballast tanks, they're on 3 different airlines. So if an airline were to burst, it's not that big of a deal. All 3 of them would have to fail. Just a single one of them will get the submarine to the surface, and then our support boat could pull us to shore. So it's not. It's a lot safer than most people think, and we dive it well within the parameters of what the submarine's capable of doing. For people that are subscribed, you know that the cruising depth is 60 feet and the crush depth is just over 120 feet. And that was estimated by an engineering company that we hired that did a 3D model of it, the submarine in SolidWorks 3D. So, so anyway, when it comes to how to get out, if everything failed, you can flood the hull. And it would take a few minutes to flood. There are 2 flood valves. And as that fills up with water and the pressure equalizes, then you won't have the weight of the water on top of you pushing down on the hatch. and you'll be able to open it up once that equalizes and swim out. And there is onboard scuba inside the submarine, so you can breathe while it's flooding and to swim out. So that is the plan and the absolute worst case scenario. And I might actually do a video where we intentionally flood it underwater. It would be dangerous, but we'll have a rescue team and trained professionals on site during that. But I know that you guys would probably love to see it. It's never been done before, and it'll probably get millions of views. So it is on the list for next season, at the end of next season, to possibly do. A lot of you guys have also voted for Submarine versus Thunderstorm or Tropical Storm against the waves and the wind. That's another future video that we're working on earlier on in the springtime next season. So we got some really good videos on there. So for the people that are subscribed, check out our community tab. I do have 5 different videos that we are working on right now. Once we just broke the 100,000 subscriber mark, and they're all really good. But all you guys want to see Submarine versus Thunderstorm, and the first chance we get when there's a good storm hitting, we're taking that thing out on the water, and you guys are gonna love it. She's pumped for that.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Let's see. So, Sharkman says, should use blue lights inside. I flew military helicopters for 27 years. Also can't tell blood under red lights. It just looks wet. That is a really good point. They are going to blue lights. I just thought the red looked really cool, but maybe we could add blue lights.
Well, you also have the white, just in case you need
You can always switch back to the white, too. Yes, exactly. Do you have AC in the submarine? There's no air conditioning, but once you go underwater, it cools off pretty quick because it's metal on the water, so that metal cools down real fast once you start to go down.
I actually expected it to be pretty hot in there, and it was fine. We also have fans in the back that were facing me and him, so
right,
that's nice.
Right. So we'll make sure that this is still going. You guys can hear us okay. Thanks for the comments, everybody. Keep throwing in your questions and take the opportunity to ask away. All right, so next question. At Lil Bean 1309. Did she know you had a submarine before you two got together or after?
Before. We actually met years ago, and I own an administration company. So when I was building my business contacts, I friended him on Facebook.
Yeah. So we actually met at a couple parties like 10 years ago and kind of reconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome.
You're pretty awesome.
Worked out great. I love her very much. She's amazing. And so, yes. Next question. At Mike-CV7DO. Do what you want, but is that thing safe? Did you get some experts to look at the engineering and design, or are you just risking your life every time? No. I mean, we had consulted a couple engineering companies throughout the development of this, so it's quite safe and tested, and we've done unmanned dives to make sure that this thing was safe and reliable, and did a lot of extensive testing on it. But yes, in our videos, of course, we're gonna try to push it. It's entertainment. It's supposed to be dramatic, so it looks good on camera when we make things intense. So
things are kind of intense. Anyways.
They are kind of intense, but like when we do, Submarine versus Thunderstorm, that will actually be intense.
Yes.
But it's going to look so intense on camera.
Yes.
It's going to be wild.
It's going to feel intense in real life.
Yeah.
But contingency plans are in place.
So that was a good question. Yes, is consulted with professional engineering companies, and everything is tested and well within limitations for what we're using it for. All right, self-built plane. When? I don't know, man. I'll probably build an airplane. I mean, you guys know the channel's planes, boats, and submarines. So I am a pilot. I do fly a Cessna 172. I was thinking of doing videos with the Cessna, but I know most of you guys are here for the submarine. So if you do want to see more aviation videos, we'll throw them in there. Because when we do fly around the country and go look at different places with different submarines and stuff, we'll be taking the plane. So we'll be doing some stuff with that too. But a self-built plane, I'm not sure. Honestly, it's been on my mind for so many years, and something I think I might do a couple of years down the road into the channel here is build a underground bomb shelter. That's something I've always wanted to do. It's another project full of lots of steel and concrete, and I think you guys would love that. So let me know if you guys love that idea. Are you live on Twitch? We are not. We're only on YouTube, but we will be doing another live on our TikTok and Instagram as well. And I'll look into Twitch. Avancada, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, also max sub depth. It is designed for a cruising depth of 60 feet underwater. And the crush depth of just over 120 feet underwater. So the 60 feet is like the half point. So that's just to give us a good safety margin to make it as safe as possible. Okay, going on to more questions. How you feeling, Nicole?
Pretty good.
You having a good time?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
We're very excited.
This is just amazing, guys. I love all of you so much. You have no idea. And just a little reminder, at the end of the live stream, we are dropping another video as soon as this ends. It's one of our longest videos, and it goes into how to dive the submarine. So I go into depth on land in first person and how to resurface it, and I show you some things underwater in the submarine to kind of just give you a little bit more of a tour. And I think you guys will really like that.
Definitely worth the watch. I was interested in a lot of some of the background information on what really is going on when you're down there. So definitely go check that out.
So next question from Damari Brackett 1159. What are some restrictions with this? Like every time you go out, do you have to let the Coast Guard know or something? Are there certain bodies of water you aren't allowed to go through? How deep are you legally allowed to go? So as far as restrictions go, we only bring it out on fresh water because that's what it's designed for. So we don't have to let the Coast Guard know or, get any clearance through the Coast Guard because we're not dealing with anything on the ocean. But for those of you that don't know, we are a U.S. Coast Guard registered manufacturer. So that's legally how I was able to build the submarine in the first place. And yes, the only bodies of water we use it on are fresh water. And how deep are you legally allowed to go? There is no legal limit on depth. It's completely up to the submarine you're diving in. So just for safety, 60 feet. But yes, I hope you guys are enjoying the live stream. We love all of you for tuning in. And we're going to wrap up a couple more questions here. I don't know if this one is fully a question, but it's a long one. It's from at Xander Wusky 3001. That's Xander Wusky 3001. Why OceanGate jokes? This honestly seems fairly decently built for a DIY project. Plus, it's not like this will dive all that deep, I assume. It's likely you could just swim to the surface from where this would be in case of an emergency. That's correct. Like you said, OceanGate was carbon fiber. I'm an engineer, and I'm glad the head engineer of OceanGate clearly knew that since they fired him for bringing up the issues. So yeah, OceanGate did fire their lead engineer for bringing up the issues. I mean, there's just so much that was just wrong with OceanGate. And we get a lot of comments about OceanGate jokes and stuff like that. And yeah, no, I didn't ignore my engineering company. I know the limitations of it. And the call carbon fiber thing, yeah, there's just no submarine is ever built out of carbon fiber. Any deep diving submarine, maybe like a ambient submarine, but not a 1 atmosphere submarine, not a sealed hull. Anyway, continuing with what he said, I'd have done the same thing. Carbon fiber isn't good for the purpose they were using it for, as they demonstrated on their last dive. Honestly, one of the more sad, ignoring engineer stories of our time. A kid and several people with no idea of the bad design died because of the owner's stubbornness. To be honest, by the way, most of the other people complain about isn't nearly as big of a deal. The controller, if it had been wired, would have been completely fine. It's better to use reliable industry standards when possible. Though there was also some more bad things like hull brake sensor. Yeah, so like when the Ocean Gate was descending, it would often trigger warnings. The hull sensor would go off, and Stockton Rush would just say, "Oh, that's just the carbon fiber settling."
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the whole thing with that, man, when you're 12,000 feet under the water, it is nothing like my submarine. Not even close. Like, this recreational scuba diving depth is 60 feet. And, you know, I only designed it to go to 60 feet because we could stay at 60 feet for 8 hours or 12 hours or 24 hours, whatever. Depends on how much oxygen and CO2 scrubbing material bring on board. But you could stay down there with no bottom time like you would with scuba diving. But the nice thing about it is if you do have to flood it and swim out, you're at a recreational scuba diving depth. So you can just ascend slowly and be fine. You don't have to...
Break.
Yeah. You don't have to take a safety stopper or anything like that. So... yeah, guys, I mean, I don't know how much of you want to really know about my thoughts on Ocean Gate, but in short, they're just trying to save money, and they were cutting corners, and it's a really sad story, and I hope that people, eventually get over that and learn from it and educate themselves on submarines.
And maybe try again, because it's a really awesome experience.
Right.
So just the fact that they did it wrong the first time really is a
Right.
downer. For
Right.
the whole industry in itself.
Right. We all hope you loved seeing Nicole in the video, and I hope everyone wants to see you more. I love doing the videos with you.
I love doing videos with you. So.
I love this girl. From Rafael S. You have done an amazing job as a team too. Greetings from Greece. That's really cool.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Where are you planning to do Sub versus Thunderstorm? It's going to depend. I mean, we are based in upstate New York, and we'll probably do it somewhere up here. And it's kind of the perfect spot in the springtime to get hit with a good storm. Yeah. In the springtime, we get some pretty nasty storms here with some pretty strong winds. If we can get 50, 60 mile an hour winds on the water with some 3-4 foot waves, it would be incredible video to film.
Well, the last one took my fence down, so I don't think we'll have problems.
So, yeah, I think that'll be a great time. So, before we wrap up, guys, again, you know what? While I got this here, this is letters from YouTube when I got the play button. I'm sure, if you've been on the YouTube world a while, you've seen other content creators take this letter. But I just want to read this to you. YouTube sent me this. From Neil Mahan, the YouTube CEO. Do you remember your first subscriber, your 100th, or your 1,000th subscriber? Chances are you do. And we know that you'll definitely remember your 100,000th subscriber. Your fans may have found you while searching YouTube, learned about you through a friend, or maybe you showed up as a recommended video. No matter how they came to your channel, your audience stayed and their numbers increased because of you and the community you've built. We're proud to honor your impressive milestone of reaching 100,000 subscribers with the Silver Creator Award. Congratulations. We know that you have many more stories to share with your community, and we know your fans can't wait for you to amaze them with even more of your commitment and creativity, such as Submarine versus Thunderstorm and other awesome videos. See it on our community tab on our Facebook page. Not our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. So keep creating, keep building. We can't wait to see what you'll do next, and we're here to support you along the way. And who knows, when you reach your 1,000,000th subscriber, we may just write to you and ask, do you remember your 100,000th subscriber? Yours sincerely, Neil Mahan, YouTube CEO. So, yes, when I opened this thing, I was speechless almost. And I did get a silver version of the letter. So that will go up on display. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for the insight, guys. Love from the Philippines. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you guys. And tune in right after this live stream ends. A video is going to go public on how to dive the submarine. And you'll see that in just a couple minutes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you later.